Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 6, 2023. Today we will recap yesterday's MLB action and look ahead to today. Same with the FIBA and the WNBA. We have soccer, tennis. We have news and notes and best bet. All right, we'll start with baseball. We have results to go over, and we have some matinee games today since it's Wednesday and teams have some travel day and whatnot coming tomorrow. Twins over the Guardians 8-3, Brewers over the Pirates 7-3, Rays over the Red Sox 8-6 and 11 on a walk-off homer by Brandon Lowe. Marlins over the Dodgers 6-3, Reds over the Mariners 7-6. Yankees over the Tigers 5-1 as they're back to 500. Mets over the Nats 11-5. Cards over the Braves 10-6. Royals over the White Sox 7-6. Giants lose to the Cubs 11-8. Best bet was a loser, a big loser. Astros over the Rangers 14-1. O's over the Angels 5-4-10. Rockies over the D-backs 3-2. Jays over the A's 7-1. And the Padres over the Phillies 8-0. All right, today's games at 12 o'clock or 12:30. We have Brewers Pirates, Freddie Peralta, and Colin Selby going for Milwaukee. Brewers minus 188, Pittsburgh plus 158, over under 8.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Brewers minus 1.5 and Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 110 each way. For this one, I'm going to go with the over, but I do not feel good about it. Next up, 1 o'clock, Twins Guardians. Joe Ryan, who I don't think has pitched in a while, and Gavin Williams. Twins minus 134, Guardians plus 106, over under 8.5, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 126, Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 152. The Twins just about have this division on bubble wrap. I'm going to go with the under. 220 Giants Cubs. Alex Wood and Jordan Wicks. Cubs minus 142, Giants plus 120, over under 10.5, overs minus 122, unders even money. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 146, Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 122. I like the under, but I promise it will not be best bet. 3:30, you have the Jays and the A's. Hyunjin Ryu and J.P. Sears. Jays minus 172, A's plus 144, over under 8, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Jays minus 1.5 is plus 108, A's plus 1.5 is minus 130. This is a tough one, but I'm going to go with over 4.5 Blue Jay runs at minus 104. Rockies Diamondbacks, Chris Flexen and Zach Davies. D-backs minus 215, Rockies plus 180, over under 9.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Rocks plus 1.5 is minus 120, D-backs minus 1.5 is even money. I like the full game over a lot. 4 o'clock, Phillies Padres, Zach Wheeler and Michael Wacha. Phillies minus 118, Padres even money, over under 8, overs even money, unders minus 122. Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 152, Padres plus 1.5 is minus 184. I like the Phillies at minus 118. They need the game, and they're the better team. 6:30, Red Sox Rays. Nick Pivetta and Tyler Glasnow. Rays minus 168, Red Sox plus 142, over under 8, overs minus 106, unders minus 115. Boston plus 1.5 is minus 154, Rays minus 1.5 is plus 128. So for this one, I like the over, but I don't feel good about it. Dodgers Marlins, Lance Lynn, JT Churgois. Dodgers minus 142, Marlins plus 120, over under 9, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 118, Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 142. I like the over, but I don't feel strong about it because I don't trust the Marlins offense. Mariners Reds, Logan Gilbert and Lyon Richardson. Mariners minus 168, Reds plus 142, over under 9.5, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Mariners minus 1.5 is minus 22, Reds plus 1.5 is minus 115. That's a tough one too, but I like the over. 7 o'clock, you have the Tigers at the Yankees. Matt Manning and Clark Schmidt. Yankees minus 166, Tigers plus 140, over under 9, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Tigers plus 1/2 is minus 146. Yankees minus 1/2 is plus 122. I like the under. Yankees going for 5 straight wins and to get back over 500, amazingly enough. Mets Nats. Jose Budo and Jonah Don. Mets minus 124. Nats plus 106. Over under 10.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Mets minus 1/2 is plus 126. Nats plus 1/2 is minus 150. I like the under. Cardinals Braves at 720. Dakota Hudson and Spencer Strider. Braves minus 310. Cards plus 250. Over under 9. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Cards plus 1/2 is plus 132. Braves minus 1/2 is minus 146. Oh, I like the under, only because I like Spencer Strider a lot. 7:30 White Sox Royals. Touki Toussaint and Jordan Lyles. Royals minus 118. White Sox even money. Over under 9.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. White Sox minus 1/2 is plus 146. Royals plus 1/2 is minus 178. White Sox favored on the run line. Royals favored on the money line. I am going to go with the White Sox at even money, but I don't feel good about it. 8 o'clock, you have the Astros at the Rangers. Texas is falling apart. Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer. Oh, 2 ex-teammates going at it tonight. I love it. But neither of them are as good as they used to be. Rangers minus 136. Astros plus 116. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Astros plus 1/2 is minus 184. Rangers minus 1/2 is plus 152. I'm going with the Astros plus 116. The Rangers have fallen apart, and Justin Verlander, I think, will pitch better than he did against the Yankees the other night. And then 9:30 to O's at the Angels. Kyle Gibson and Patrick Sandoval. O's minus 132. Angels plus 112. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. O's minus 1/2 is plus 120. Angels plus 1/2 is minus 144. I like the over in this game a lot. Alrighty, now move on to the FIBA. We'll go over results from yesterday and this morning and look ahead to, we don't know who plays tomorrow. Serbia over Lithuania 86-68 or 87-68, and then U.S. over Italy 163. And then today, or this morning, Germany over Latvia 81-79, and Canada over Slovenia 100-89. So Luka Doncic is out. So these games are going to be played on Friday. So we'll make picks for U.S., Germany, and Serbia, Canada on the podcast tomorrow. So those are 2 interesting games. So you have U.S. against the Wagners, and then you have SGA, RJ Barrett and company against Serbia. So, and Bogdan Bogdanovic. So there's some good players going to be in the this next round coming up tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. All right, now move on to the WNBA. We have results to go over from yesterday, and I'm not 100% sure if there's any games today. Yes, there is. Liberty over the Wings, 94-93. Sun over the Sparks, 90-76. Sky over the Fever, 96-69. And the Mystics over the Mercury, 100-77. One game tonight, NBA TV, Storm Dream. The Storm, I think, are eliminated, right? Yes, unfortunately. And then you have LA, Chicago battling for the last spot. Atlanta looks like they're going to win that 7 spot. The Dreamer are giving 8.5, totals 163.5. I'm going to lay it with the Dream. They have a lot to play for. They need to lock up that 7 seed. Their last games are today, and then they have Friday against the Mystics. We have something to talk about regarding the Mystics and news and notes. And then they have home Wings. So they got to win these next couple of games. So I'm going to lay the 8.5 with the Atlanta Dream over the Seattle Storm, who have been eliminated from playoff contention. Now we'll move on to soccer. We don't have a lot to talk about with soccer. but there's things that we need to bring up. All right, so we have friendlies from this morning. Syria and Malaysia, 2-2 draw. Bhutan over Maku, 1-0. Bulgaria and Uzbekistan canceled, and then Malta, Gibraltar at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow, 6:30 a.m., Iraq, India. 7 o'clock, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. 8 o'clock, Cambodia, Hong Kong. 9:30, Thailand and Lebanon. And that's up to a point of what time I'll probably record the show. And then we have the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying. We have a game today at 3 o'clock. Libya and Ecuador, Guinea. I don't know if we have odds for this game. Oh, then we have CONCACAF coming up. The CONCACAF Nations League. So that's something to look forward to for tomorrow's podcast. Tomorrow was a lot of soccer. So it's going to be a very soccer-heavy podcast tomorrow, which I am looking forward to. So it looks like we do not have that. I think that Guinea could win that game. NWSL Cup, tonight, 8 o'clock, you have KC and North Carolina. North Carolina plus 150, KC plus 170, draw plus 240, and go with the draw plus 240. And then 10 o'clock, you have the Rain in Louisville. The Rainer plus 135, Louisville plus 185, the draws plus 240, and go with the Rain at plus 135 at home. And then we also have the USL tonight, one game. We have Memphis, Tampa tonight. Memphis plus 155, Tampa plus 150, draw plus 230. I like the draw at plus 230. And then we also have something else. I forget what it is. Is it ELC? No, I forget what we had. There was something else that was on the soccer board that we have. USL League One. We have 8 o'clock Union Omaha and North Carolina FC, and 9 o'clock Northern Colorado and Lexington. All right, now move on to tennis. We have results to go over from the U.S. Open, and we'll look ahead to today's. All right, so we'll start with the men's. Yesterday, I don't think we did tennis on the show yesterday, so we'll do Monday and Tuesday, and then look at today. So round of 16, 12 seed Alexander Zverev over 16 Jannik Sinner in 5 sets. 3 seed Nadal Medvedev over 13 seed Alex Demeter in 4 sets. 8 seed Andre Rublev over Jack Draper in 4 sets, and Wendy Alcaraz over Matteo Arnaldi in 3 sets. Quarterfinals, yesterday, Ben Shelton upsets 10 seed Francis Tiafoe in 4 sets, and 2 seed Novak Djokovic over 9 seed Taylor Fritz in 3 sets. We have 2 more quarterfinals, so we'll bet these. 115 with 3 seed Daniil Medvedev and 8 seed Andre Rublev should be an awesome, and I mean awesome in all capital letters, match. Medvedev's minus 270, Rublev's plus 225. I am going to do set betting and go Medvedev 3-1 at plus 260. And then 8:15 tonight, 1 seed Carlos Alcaraz and 12 seed on Alexander Zverev. This should be another really good match. Alcaraz is minus 490, Zverev is plus 375. I would go Alcaraz 3-0 at plus 140. Alcaraz 3-0 at plus money is something you don't see very often in a quarterfinal, but I'm going to take advantage. And then the women's Monday round, the 16 2-seed Arena Sabalenka over 13-seed Daria Kasatkina in 2 sets. 23-seed Wen Zhang upsets 5-seed Ons Jabeur in 2 sets. 17-seed Madison Keys upsets 3-seed Jessica Pegula in 2 sets. And 19-seed Marketa Vondrousova defeats Peyton Stearns in 3 sets. Yesterday, quarterfinals, 10-seed Carolina Muchova over 30-seed Sorana Cristina in 2 sets. And 6-seed Coco Gauff over 20-seed Jelena Ostapenko in 2 sets. All right, 2 quarterfinals today. 12 noon, you have 23-seed Wen Zhang and 2-seed Arena Sabalenka. I think Sabalenka is going to be a huge favorite. Minus 390, Zhang's plus 310. Go set betting, and I don't like any of the numbers. Game spread, don't like that either. So total match games, I'm going to go under 20.5 total match games at minus 112. And at 7 o'clock tonight, 19 Marketa Vondrousova and 17-seed Madison Keys. Keys is favored, minus 126. Vondrousova's plus 105. I want to see Madison Keys win, but I think Vondrousova is more talented, so I'm going to go with Marketa Vondrousova 2-1 at plus 320 as my pick for that one. Women's semis is tomorrow. Men's semis is Friday. Women's title Saturday. Men's title Sunday. So we will do all that on the next 2 podcasts. All right, now I'll move on to the news and notes for today. Not a lot today. So, yeah. We will start with football. Carl Nassib retires from the league. He's the league's first openly gay player that was active, and he played for 7 seasons. So Nassib had a nice career. I think he is somebody that could have kept going if he wanted to. The Hard Knocks finale's out. And it was a good episode. Justin Jefferson is approaching a new deal as he could sign a long-term extension very soon, and the current rookie deal runs through 2024. There's optimism that Joe Burrow can reach an agreement on an extension before the start of the year, so that could very well happen, like today or tomorrow. I could totally see that coming, like, before Thursday. Jimmy Garoppolo restructures his deal as the Raiders create $17 million in cap space by reworking Garoppolo's deal. Chandler Jones had a weird Instagram story about not getting into the gym as he went off about it. Daniel Jones says that Duke is a football school after Duke upset Clemson. But the biggest story right now is that Travis Kelce could miss tomorrow night's game against the Lions as he hyperextended his knee. But the word is that his ACL is still intact, so it'd be really shitty if Travis Kelce didn't play week 1, let alone tore his ACL. So let's hope he's okay. That'd be terrible if that would be the case. Then everyone, their mother's going to bet on the Lions' money line if that's the case. A lot of basketball stuff. Some Sixers news. Joel Embiid will ride out the 76ers drama as he gives assurances he'll stick with the Sixers amid the James Harden saga. And then James Harden lost out on an All-Star game spot as he was pouting for multiple days after he was snubbed and missed replacement invitation. Yikes. Like, what a disaster in Philly right now with Harden. But I don't think the Sixers fans are really going to give a shit about that because the Phillies are playing well right now. You have the Eagles starting up, going for repeat or close to a season they had a year ago, if not win the Super Bowl. And then you have a soccer team in the Union that is trying to win an MLS Cup. So that's probably the last thing that Philadelphia sports fans want to think about right now. Christian Wood to the Mavericks on a 2-year deal with the player option. That's a nice pickup for them, as he'll earn $2.7 million with the Lakers this year, and a player option for $3 million in 24-25. That is a great deal for the Lakers. Dylan Brooks got booed at FIBA as the fans let the Canada forward hear it. WNBA, sad news for the Mystics. Christy Tolliver tore her ACL as she'll miss the rest of the year as the Mystics look to clinch a playoff spot. That's terrible. Tolliver's been a big part of their success this year. At least they have Della Dawn back, but I think this is a big blow for their chances to upset the apple cart. Breanna Stewart sets a new record for most points in a single season with 861. But it's still counting. She'll probably win the MVP if it's not anybody on Vegas. The Mystics actually did clinch a playoff spot sans the Tolliver injury. How about this? Duke, Kentucky, and UConn among schools chosen to wear the Kobe and Gianna Nikes this season. That's awesome. Riley Leonard needed an extension on a class assignment after Duke upset Clemson. And then the professor rejected Riley Leonard's extension request. How dare him? All right, the new AP polls out. I'm going to go over the new rankings with you guys. I'm sure there's a lot of change at the top of the list. All right, so number 1's Georgia, 2's Michigan, 3's Alabama, 4's Florida State. I think Florida State got snubbed in the top 3 personally. Alabama should still be at 4. Ohio State 5, USC 6, Penn State 7, Washington 8, Tennessee 9, Notre Dame 10, 11's Texas, 12's Utah, 13's Oregon, 14's LSU, 15 Kansas State, 16 Oregon State, 17 North Carolina, 18 Oklahoma, 19 Wisconsin, 20 Ole Miss, 21 Duke, 22 Colorado, 23 Texas A&M, 24 Tulane, 25 Clemson. And in others receiving votes, Iowa, UCLA, Arkansas, TCU, Kentucky, Pitt, Mississippi State, Miami, NC State, Wyoming, Troy, Fresno State, Minnesota, Auburn, Texas State, Iowa State, Texas Tech, UCF, Illinois, Washington State, James Madison, Houston, and Louisville. And obviously TCU and Iowa dropped. I personally believe that Clemson should not be ranked. That was just a terrible loss to Duke. LSU, I understand because I think Florida State's awesome. If you lose to somebody in the top 10, I know they lost convincingly, but they had the lead at halftime in that game. And plus Florida State's good. Did I mention that already? So I'm okay with LSU still being in the rankings. Clemson should not be there. And I think that Iowa should have still been in there because they won their game. So that's just bizarre that they dropped. And I just think Clemson continues to get favoritism because Dabo Swinney's their coach and they have a good reputation. Ohio State, I thought, deserved the drop only because they lost. So I understand why. Or they didn't lose, but it felt like they underperformed in that game. But you can make a case that's C. Schmidt of Ohio State. Penn State really had a solid win over West Virginia. Notre Dame probably should be higher because they have 2 wins. Oklahoma kicked butt. Oregon State had an impressive win. North Carolina had a nice win. So, and I don't mind Colorado and Duke being in there because they belong. And Duke had the big win. Colorado had their big win. But I have a problem with Clemson still being in the rankings. I just do. And like I said, they're still in there because they're Clemson. And TCU, despite making the title game last year, lost to Colorado. And they obviously, got punished for it. All right, Pelicans guard Trey Murphy III injured his knee as he suffered a meniscus injury during workout yesterday and will undergo further testing. That's not great for the Pelicans. A lot of baseball stuff. Jose Altuve had a 3-homer game, and he got it in the third inning. 5 home runs in a 6-plate appearance span. That's like Aaron Judge type of stuff right there. That's amazing. Shohei Ohtani was not available for pitcher day for the Angels, so the Angels got a stand-in, which was funny. Anthony Rizzo shut down for the season after post-concussion syndrome. Right thing to do if you're the Yankees. Just play the kid still at this point. Anthony Rizzo, after that concussion, his season and the Yankee season really fell apart. But I still think that if Judge doesn't slam his toe in Dodger Stadium, the Yankees would be in the wild card hunt. I don't know if they would be in a playoff spot, but Aaron Judge obviously would be having a better season, and he'd be carrying the team, and maybe they would have been a buyer at the trade deadline. So maybe it would have been different if Judge doesn't slam his toe. And amazingly enough, the Yanks are back at 500. I mean, they lucked out seeing the Tigers a bunch of times, but that Astros sweep, I'm not going to lie, was impressive. They really stuck it to me after I pretty much guaranteed them being swept in Houston on the podcast on Friday. And speaking of the Yankees, Jason Dominguez had his first moment with the Bleacher Creatures. He does the ET phone home for the Bleacher Creatures, which was pretty cool. Carlos Carrasco out for the season as he dropped a 50-pound barbell and broke his finger. That's just so Mets. That is just so something that a Mets player would do, right? Like you saw Edwin Diaz with the celebration. That's just so Mets, and this is so Mets too. And last but not least, Terry Francona says it's time to retire. He strongly hints that this may be his last season. My body's telling me that. My head is telling me that. So, looks like he's going to retire. Great career for T-Dot. I certainly was hoping that he would stick around a little bit and maybe manage elsewhere, maybe in New York with the Yankees if they were to move on from Aaron Boone. But T-Dot's had a great career, and that decision obviously should be up to him. And he should be happy with the career he's had, and he'll be remembered fondly in Boston and Cleveland forever. Even though with Cleveland, he doesn't have one with Cleveland, but he has 2 at Boston, and he was the manager of the team that had the drought that ended that big drought in Boston. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple baseball totals I really liked. So there's a couple of nominees, and then there's a straight up that I like too. The Philadelphia Phillies minus 118 at San Diego. I really liked, but I'm not going to go there. The under in the Cubs game is up to 11, but I'm not going there again. The over 9.5 in Rockies Diamondbacks is a consideration. The Phillies are now down to minus 112, believe it or not. I also like the under in Mets Nationals. I like the under in Tigers Yankees. I like the under in Cards Braves. I like the Astros at the Rangers, and I love the O's Angels over 8.5. So it's down to O's Angels and Rockies Diamondbacks. But I don't trust the Angels offense with a non-healthy Ohtani and Trout not playing. So instead, I'm going to go over 9.5. I'm going to lay a quarter unit on it between the Rockies and the Diamondbacks for my best bet of the day. Over 9.5, minus 102 between the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow, recapping everything, look at everything tomorrow. We have the week 1 game between the Chiefs and the Lions to look forward to, and a ton more. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.